how do you make money from your girlfriend to earn $10,000 a month? That's what we are going to look at together in detail through my 10-step action plan if you stick with it until the end. A girl who can become your girlfriend and earn you $10,000 a month is very rare to begin with. I estimate that this represents perhaps maybe 5% of women today. Don't fall victim to the savior syndrome in the sense that if one of the stages I'm about to present to you crashes, well, in fact, it would crash all the time on the following stages. So, it's better to give up and change girlfriends. The first step to making her profitable is to get her to rank below you in terms of personal development, intelligence, yes, intelligence, and business. Why? Because if she thinks that you're on an equal footing in these areas, which she hasn't worked on at all, or at least much less than you, she's stupid. She's stupid. She won't achieve anything in your life. She must see you as an authority figure, as a mentor. If she was just an average girl, and I have known before, things would have been really bad. The first few weeks are fine. The rest of the time, it's like, you're deciding my life, it's not your life. That's the advantage of knowledge. You don't wear it on your face. On the other hand, in a relationship, it's also a disadvantage. Because if we were as muscular as we are intelligent, we would all look like Samsulek. Except that through knowledge, well, actually, unless you arrive in a yacht, unless you arrive in a Ferrari, except that it's not intelligent to arrive in a Ferrari today. It's better to have a crypto wallet full of random network. From the first stage, in my experience, 90% are eliminated. The second step in making her profitable is for her to see you as a mentor figure. If she doesn't respect you, she doesn't admire you, almost to her, in fact, you're the version she would like to become, but man version. Well, actually, that won't work. Why? Because the step is so high, and I'm going to go even further. The staircase is so long that she will actually stop short. You might have a girlfriend who is pretty, who's got good genetics, all that she has already got. A lot of the time, guys, we're going to be with girls who are beautiful. Yes, but in fact, she's born beautiful. You know what I mean? You might have a girlfriend who was born pretty, even if she stops doing sport, even if she stops taking care of herself. 99% of guys will still like her. What can really change your girlfriend inside is to say to her, think of yourself as an ugly guy who wants to become a profitable online entrepreneur. Because if she has these standards of an ugly guy who doesn't play on his looks at all, who almost has an accent, who doesn't come across well, who doesn't even have the money to buy a suit, and she is as entrepreneurial as he is, she can offer products or services that are as profitable as he is, then she has won everything, because her age, her competitive advantage is that she's a very pretty girl. All the help you're going to give your girlfriend, first of all, you must not expect anything in return, because from one day to the next, your girlfriend is like a coach to top-level sportsmen and women. If the grass is greener elsewhere, she will leave. She will never mention you. She will never mention you. So who cares, guys? We do it because we can't help it. You can tell your girlfriend, listen, I don't want to spoil the mood or anything, but I can help it. I need to talk to you about something. I think you should do it this way. And know that it's going to be more of a clash than if you say, baby, you're too pretty. If she doesn't see you as a mentor, skip step 1. In fact, she will be looking for other mentors. She's going to put you in competition with them. This is very, very bad. It's almost perverse of her to do this because you're going to be like a rat running on her wheel, the wheel of her first name. The third step in making her profitable is to reshape her habits. Why? Because you can't turn a donkey into a racehorse. There are very often 3 habits that 90% of girls have, no matter how intelligent, rich, or beautiful, that you're going to have to get rid of. Smoking, devouring sweets, whatever the time or the sweet, being in larva mode. What's larva mode? To be soft, to be flat ugly. The first stage in making her profitable is the first entrepreneurial test. That's really where it's a case of either win or lose. In your business, especially if you are online, you're multitasking, you are an entrepreneur who could be selling services in a whole range of areas. What you're going to do is take one of your tasks, whatever your business, even if it's physical, real estate or whatever, and delegate it to your girlfriend. That will be the first step. Once again, she's really going to depend on you for the vision of her life. In my case, I have always bet on online activities because I think that content creation is really the job that will survive AI level 100. So, all the other jobs that still exist for the moment and that overlap with online content creation, or at least that help online content creators, are profitable. You can ask her to make little YouTube thumbnails to help you with Photoshop. Don't be afraid to stop if she is not professional, if she stands you up. These are the 2 options open to her if she wants to give up now. Because very often, your girlfriend won't be able to say no to you. For example, if she says no to you at stage 8, that means she's been thinking about it since stage 4 and that, in fact, it wasn't for her from the start. It's at this point that she's going to have to take on the role of entrepreneur for her life, meaning that she's her own boss. There's no one behind her to know if she has done the job properly, if she has done it quickly, because in fact, there is no customer. It's just a surplus to test. I'm using the example of thumbnails, but it could be anything. If you have got flats, it could be doing the move in and move out of a tenant. It could be cleaning the flat. It could be taking photos for home staging to increase the rent by 20%. Today, a task with AI is what you could do with your girlfriend. Why? Because it's sexy, it's fast, it's intelligent. She doesn't have to do all the work. She's already an entrepreneur. She's not doing the work. It's the AI that is doing the work. The 5th stage is different from the others. Why? Because you're going to take the biggest step. You're going to give her her first piece of equipment so that she can provide services to her first customers. That could be a supercomputer with a whole computer setup. It's basically a first entrepreneurial step you do for her. Why? Because most of the time, well, your girlfriend won't have any money. She doesn't know how to save. My professional advice for your action plan is that all your future gifts should be profitable for her in the long term. It could be AI tools, it could be software, it could be computers, it could be hardware, a microphone, for example, for content creation. The moral of the 5th step is that to change your girlfriend, you have to change the gifts you give her. The 6th step in making her profitable, and this is where we get into the real money, is that you are going to be the first product. The first test to see whether it's profitable or not, to see whether she's got what it takes or not. So you take all the risks. On the other hand, if it works, you can compensate her, in other words, reimburse her for all the time she has spent on it, as if you had been a loyal customer. This is the moment when her ideas come face to face with reality. How do they turn out? And also, this is the moment when you test your professional relationship. Okay, you get on well in everyday life, like best friends. Okay, you get on well in bed, like sex friends. On the other hand, on a professional level, do you get on well as a financial duo, almost like partners? And that's where you recoup your investment to the tune of $10,000 a month. Why? Because depending on the sector, it's going to be more or less profitable. It can be creating applications, websites, and futuristic Netflix type models. Small disclaimer, it doesn't matter if she takes 1 year instead of 2 months. It doesn't matter if it takes 6 times as long. It also doesn't matter if you have to pay every month. You can lose a lot of money, even just for expenses, because it can last for a very long time. It's normal. You are the draft. But on the other hand, for you, well, you can make your own arrangements. It's a bit like free labor that you pay back once the project comes out. The seventh step in making your girlfriend more than $10,000 a month is, yes, you heard me right, now we're moving into another sphere. She will live with a portfolio of your work, and what's more, you will provide her with a complete video testimonial showing everything from A to Z. You know exactly what her weaknesses and strengths are. You talk about them freely in your testimonial, and as a result, she's not starting from scratch. The double key school effect of this video is that you are not the only one earning maybe $10,000 a month. Why? Because your girlfriend, through this crossing of the desert that will depend on her will, has enough value to earn a salary, quit her job, and maybe reach $10,000 a month in online services. Second disclaimer, don't lie in your video testimonial. Why? Because if you do, you will both go down. If your girlfriend is not yet ready to have new customers without you, but you're pushing and convincing other people to order from her, that's going to result in customers who don't trust her or you. So when you do it, make sure you say everything in your testimonial. If she has any weaknesses, say so. In terms of organization, meeting deadlines, maybe creativity, or maybe autonomy. That way the client knows. And I would also advise that she starts with very low prices. Your girlfriend may, for example, start out with free for video testimonials, and then she can start with prices of maybe even $200, $300. And at the end, she can refuse anything under $1,000, for example. The eighth step in making your girlfriend profitable, now we're over $10,000 a month. Clearly, guys, we're still in the business of financial growth. It's about developing passive income for her. So yes, it goes way beyond the role of a boyfriend, lover, or even husband. It's almost a role of father, a role of mentor, a role of coach. Why? Because you are going to explain to her the principle of reinvestment. Because in fact, she can be replaced at any time in terms of technology. You never know what kind of artificial intelligence might come along in the next few years. Competitors who work harder than her, competitors who may even come from other countries. If ever there are AIs that can overcome language barriers, that's what I believe. For example, the person who makes my thumbnails at $50 a thumbnail comes from Belgium. This will normally be the stage when she struggles because she won't have enough time to serve as many customers as possible. And she will be forced to turn away 50%, 70%, 90% of her customers. Because, in fact, during the day, she is still in her old life as a salaried employee, doing tasks that are perhaps pointless compared with everything else she is asked to do at home. The best way to behave is to be patient. Why? Because you have to follow what Anthony Robbins calls the emotional threshold. At some point, it's going to hurt her more to spend her days for $50, $70, even $100 a day at the company or studying for zero, rather than risk it all, in quotes risk, because there is no shortage of permanent jobs these days. It's harder to make your business profitable and survive the first year than it is to find a permanent job with the same skills. There will come a time when she will think she's stupid and cry every night because her life has no meaning. Why? Because she's hanging on by a thread. You're there to propose ideas, to suggest sources of income, to suggest more intelligent reinvestment. Why? Because as soon as you make a more intelligent choice, very often there are 10 more open to you. Earning $10,000 a month means putting more IQ into everything you do. This is also going to be a difficult time for your couple. Why? Because it's the moment when, in fact, emotions are going to vary enormously, because it's very risky, in fact, to get out of your rat condition, especially if this girl comes from a working class family or a poor family. It's going to be very hard for her, but it's a level she has to get over on her own, because you won't always be there for her. The ninth step in making your girlfriend profitable up to $10,000 a month, but now we're almost up to $50,000, is that if your product is very profitable, she will take care of after-sales service and competitive intelligence. Very important, because now she has a better brain than you on this target business model. In other words, your ideas may be better than hers. On the other hand, when it comes to the down-to-earth technical side of the business, she's the master. So, if you get on well with her, she will always take care of developing your platforms, your graphics, your editing, whatever you want. Why? Because she is really interested in it and it's her job. Because it's her job, she's focused on one thing. You in 10. You got it. We're online entrepreneurs, so we know how to do everything, but we don't know how to do everything in depth either. Since she's selling these services, she's in depth every day in the field. So you let her do that, it's much more profitable for you. And if you get on well with her, at least that's what I recommend, she will also take care of the after-sales service and the competitive intelligence to continually improve your products, as if it were in fact an automation on make that runs from A to Z for a little money every month. Yes, your girlfriend's new nickname is Zapier. The 10th step in making her profitable is a protection step, a long-term guarantee. Why? Because once you have reached a certain level, it's very important not to fall below it again. It's something I have achieved, but I don't believe in it. It's about talking freely with her about the breakup and even beyond about cheating, about a very, very unhealthy, very bad, very perverse act that may happen and that will cause a break in the relationship. In your case, try, if you reach this level, but not before, to talk about even the worst things that can happen in a relationship, the worst mistakes, the worst behavior, the worst sides of your personality, whatever you want. that can happen, that may happen in the future, and to make sure you have a discussion with her beforehand to say, we will stop because there is no more trust, there is no more respect, and that's something I totally accept. On the other hand, on a professional level, we have worked so hard on it. So instead of starting from scratch, let's get to the heart of the matter. A little seduction advice. That's for step 11. Be able to talk about the breakup. Even her faults, your faults too. I have the impression that, in fact, you're letting go of ballast and frustration too. So you are not building up to the point where you can stand each other anymore. Easy.